Now, before I was a comedian, I was a guitar player. And when I started playing, I wanted to be the best. But I wasn't. Just like a lot of radio stations would like to be 94 WYSP, but they're not. Because 94 WYSP is the best. They have classic rock and roll all day long, and they have Howard Stern every morning, all morning long. So we're not trying to laugh right in the face of these other radio stations. Ah! But when you're not the best, you just have to learn to live with it! Oh!
But the wind brings that down to about 45. And there's Dan Reeves, who has lost his last 3 to the Eagles, and Ray Rhodes, who is trying to stop a 3-game losing streak overall. Brian DeLuiso will be kicking off for the Giants. He's got the big leg, but in this wind and rain today, Jerry, that will be tested as you see Witherspoon and Mark Say deep back for Philadelphia.
Where the rain will bother kickers today, Kevin, is their plant foot. The foot that's not hitting the ball. You got to watch. If he's a right-footed kicker, you got to watch and be sure the left foot doesn't slide. And that's the most important foot today is your plant foot.
The Giants hope to keep their tenuous playoff hopes alive, but coming off their biggest victory of the season and one of the biggest victories in the Dan Reeves era as they beat the Dallas Cowboys last week 20-6, forcing 5 Dallas turnovers. And the last meeting here, they trailed 10-6. The Eagles did going into the fourth quarter, but they scored 13 unanswered points and beat the Giants 19-10.
And the biggest noise that day was the sacks by the Eagles, which they haven't been able to do.
The Eagles and Giants, the NFC East on display. Here we go in rainy Philadelphia. And they'll keep it in the end zone as Derek Witherspoon is held back, unless the Eagles will get it first down and 10 yards to go at their own 20-yard line. Well, Ty Detmer is the 9th-rated NFL quarterback and 3rd in the NFC with his 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions since taking the place early in the season of the injured Rodney Peete. And on the line, Barrett Brooks, Joe Panos, Raleigh McKenzie, Lester Holmes, and the right tackle Richard Cooper. In the backfield, Ricky Waters looking for his first 100-yard day in a month. Kevin Turner back there with him. Pryor and Chris T. Jones are the receivers, and the tight end is rookie Jason Dunn. And from the 20-yard line, showing blitz the Giants, Philadelphia, first down and 10. And they get it out in the flat where it's caught by Ricky Waters. Waters is hustled out of bounds after a gain of 7 by Jesse Campbell. That'll be second and short as the Eagles go up against the 43 defense of the New York Giants, rated number 13 in the NFL. Bradsky coming off a great game with Hamilton, Harris, and Michael Strahan. In the linebacking core, Marcus Buckley gets another start with Widmer and Jesse Armstead, who had a great game last week. And in the backfield, Jason Sehorn and Sparks the corners with Tito Wooten and Jesse Campbell, the hard-hitting Giant safeties. Gain of 6 on first down, second down and 4 for Detmer, and wide open. He's got receiver Irving Pryor, who busts free at the 40, and he's out to the 45 on a gain of 18, brought down by linebacker Corey Widmer.
Jason Sehorn was in a full press man-to-man, but because of the traction, the slippery turf, he slips and falls, and then the safety also comes in and misses the tackle. There you can see Irving already got away, and then a missed tackle by Tito Wooten. So 2 people missed Irving Pryor on the very first pass.
Opening drive of the game, Philadelphia at the 45 with the first and 10. Here's Ricky Waters, and that's a typical Ricky Waters run as a flag is thrown at the 50-yard line. He gains 11 yards, and along the way, Jerry, he usually busts about 2 or 3 tackles.
Well, he's that second-effort guy, but you got to remember his history. He fumbles a lot, and with the ball as what it's going to be, and with his second effort, he could have trouble holding on to that ball today.
Face pass. On a defense, penalized into the run, 5 yards, first down.
Dan Reeves, now in his 4th year as the coach of the Giants.
You can see the face mask. Looked like Keith Hamilton got his hand right in on the cage.
Eagles began back at their 20 on a touchback, now inside the Giant 40-yard line with a first and 10. Good time for Detmer. Nice coverage by the Giants, and the pass is thrown short underneath for running back Ricky Waters, who picks up 4. Brought down by the leading tackler on the Giant defense, Jesse Armstead.
And a little bit of different offensive formation than what they've shown in their scouting report. So that had the Giants a little confused. when they shifted out, the Giants had to take an outside linebacker, believe it or not, and play him as a corner because of the formation change that they had on that play.
Second down and 6 as Waters becomes a receiver at the top of your screen. And Charlie Garner gets the call. He didn't play last week, and he moves down inside the 32 on a gain of 2. And the first hit put on him again by Jesse Armstead.
Welcome to the NFC East. Watch the line get moved. Watch the offensive line. Lester Holmes, Richard Cooper, and they're moving people right out. That's Robert Harris, Michael Strahan. They're pushing the whole pile.
Garner had a sprained left ankle, did not play last week.
And the coach told us Garner has to get 10 carries today. He has to touch the ball 10 times. So look for Garner to get more playing time than he has in a couple of months.
Well, he's got one so far. Here's a 3rd and 3 on the opening series of the game by Philadelphia with no score as Detmer throws on the near side and the pass is caught for a first down. It's Irvin Fryer. That's a gain of 5.
And that was a very dangerous ball. That was a long throw to the outside cut. And Jason Sehorn, he had a shot at maybe making a play on that thing.
Fryer had 7 catches last week against Arizona for 131 yards. He is having a marvelous season for Philadelphia.
Here he is, 12 years, 13 years in the league and playing at the top of his game. That doesn't happen to many football players.
This Eagle offense on opening drives very effective, as you just saw. The first down handoff goes inside the 25-yard line and a gain of 2 to Ricky Waters, who had 64 yards last week in Arizona. But Jerry, looking at his statistics, he has not had a 100-yard game for a month.
Well, I think they're going to try it this week. Here's the lead. They're going to run a lead and try to come over and watch the full, just to shuffle over. And he's flat running over a big down lineman. Robert Harris is trying to get off the block of Lester Holmes, but while he's doing that, Ricky Waters is running right into him. That's full speed running, no fair dodging.
8th play of the Eagle drive, second down and 8 yards to go for Ty Detmer. And he throws behind, but it's caught by Chris T. Jones. He's inside the Giant 15 to the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 13 on the play and a first down.
Well, that's Chris T. Jones, who did not have a good game last week. He's up at the top, but every receiver is going to run a crossing route. They're all crisscrossing. Watch the guy behind him crossing the other way. And what was interesting is Irving Fryer told him, because of your bad game last week, you have to catch the first ball thrown to you to put that last week's game to sleep. Whatever you do, you catch that first pass.
Ty Detmer has started the game 5 of 5, but there's a fumble on the play at the 11-yard line, and the Giants, who forced 5 Dallas turnovers last week, stopped the Eagles cold in their tracks, and dejection on the face of Eagle coach Ray Rhodes. It was recovered by Jesse Armstead, who recovered a fumble last week against the Cowboys.
And that was a fumble exchange. That's from the center in the quarterback. And you got to say the Eagles had great movement with the line. There it is. It popped right straight up in the air.
The first big play of the game turned in by the Giant defense. We have no score. On 1st and 10, Rodney Hampton is stacked up after a Philadelphia fumble. Looked like the entire defense of the Eagles had a hand on the tackle of Rodney Hampton. Let's go back to the fumble.
This is Raleigh McKenzie, the center. A good snap. We talked about the wet ball, and there's Ty. Sort of had his hands turned over too soon, and the wet ball, I think, caused that ball to go right up to his chest.
Gain of a yard on the play on first down. Second down and 9. That's Charles Way in motion. And Brown going right to work, and he looks for Way, and the pass is picked off by Ray Farmer, a rookie. And Farmer is down at the 34-yard line.
What a nice play by Ray Farmer. We talked to him yesterday, and he'll be the linebacker taking the motion man right here. Here's the guy that played free safety at Duke a year ago, and a 220-pound safety moved to a linebacker position, making a big interception. And that's an ex-Duke quarterback throwing an interception to an ex-Duke safety.
So Farmer gets his very first career interception. And the Eagles are back in business at the Giant 34. First down and 10 yards to go. Detmer again with good time, and this time he is a little bit wide, going for wide receiver Irving Fryer. There's a look at Farmer, a fourth-round pick out of Duke. That's the first incompletion, by the way, for Ty Detmer, who started the game 5 of 5 for the Eagles.
And that ball was close to being picked off by the Giants. I think with the rain, with the slippery ball, you saw the fumble exchange. We'll also see some bad throws from both quarterbacks.
Second down and 10. 3 wide receivers at the disposal of Detmer. And the draw play handoff, and it goes to Ricky Waters, who dances his way inside the 30. Picks up 5, taken down to the 29 by the best cornerback on this team, Philippi Sparks of the Giants.
Well, Ricky Waters likes to follow a fullback, but I think he hits a lot of daylight and a lot of air out of a one-back set. So here he's by himself. Watch him break it off to the left as you're looking at it, and a good block by Jason Dunn, the tight end, went right down inside and picked off Corey Whitmer, the inside linebacker.
He doesn't get very deep in that backfield either, does he?
You got to feed him the ball today. He's got to be the guy if you want to win for Philadelphia.
Third down and 5, and an audible now coming from quarterback Ty Detmer. Waters again. And he takes it to the 26-yard line, where he is brought down by Tito Wooten. That'll set up third down and a couple.
Well, guess who he was following that time? Your favorite guard, Joe Panos. Joe Panos will line up and he'll pull when they're a one-back set. There's no fullback. Then a guard has to come and lead. Watch the guard as you're looking at. You're playing safety now. It's the right guard as you're looking. And he did a scoop block and let the center cut. That really wasn't a pull. He scooped and let Raleigh McKenzie go. Scoop means you block the first guy to your right side.
Harry Anderson has made 11 consecutive field goals. The wind is kind of going from the far side to the near side. Holding will be Hutton, a 44-yard attempt. And Anderson bangs it through. That's 12 in a row. And he ties a Philadelphia record. The Eagles cash in on a Dave Brown interception. They lead 3-0. Well, the Giant defense does hold Philadelphia to just a field goal attempt as Gary Anderson just knocked through a 44-yarder, and he has now kicked 11 consecutive field goals. And you got to go back to the 66 and 67 seasons, and a kicker by the name of Sam Baker to find the last time a kicker for the Eagles kicked as many in a row as Gary Anderson. Longtime veteran from Pittsburgh, now in his 15th year from Syracuse.
Oh, bad kickoff, though, Kevin.
And it is scooped up and brought up field by one of the tight ends, Brian Saxton. And that will give the Giants pretty good beginning field position. The quarterback, Dave Brown, at the 37-yard line as an Eagle player is down. Dave Brown last week against the Cowboys, 12 of 18, 110 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He's already thrown a pick today, so now he has 16 for the year. The offensive line shuffled a bit. Missing Brian Williams. They got Schreiber in there at the center. He is flanked by Bishop, Smith, Ron Stone, who played well last week against Dallas, and Scott Gregg at the right tackle. And in the backfield, Rodney Hampton will start, but you're going to see a lot of Tyrone Wheatley today with blocking back Charles Way. Callaway and Dossier are the receivers, and Howard Cross is the tight end.
And Adam Walker is the special team cover man that is down on the field. We're going to show you number 29 in the kick coverage. Here's 29. Watch him as he's going down trying to make the tackle. It was a real bad, at no hang time. He sort of got tripped up before he went into the pile. It looked like he caught somebody's a foot with his own foot. Sort of got tripped up going in there.
Walker is one of the best special teams players for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was a free agent signee from the San Francisco 49ers during the offseason. And this is a team, Jerry, which can ill afford to lose great special teams players. It has been a problem throughout most of the year. Special teams have been a great concern for Ray Rhodes. We have an injury timeout at Veterans Stadium.
Number 29 is Adam Walker. He did get up and walk off. Watch him trip and go to his knees, and he sort of got bent over when he made that tackle.
First and 10 run, and spitting free is Rodney Hampton out to midfield. It's a gain of 13 yards on the carry. Finally brought down by rookie Brian Dawkins as Adam Walker will be looked at in the locker room.
Now, you couldn't ask for a better day for a Rodney Hampton-style